Very good morning. Whoever watching from online, very good morning. So I think we are in basic concept chapter, right? In this basic concept chapter, till now whatever the point we discussed, just we can write it down it as an headings wise summary. The first we discuss what is the purpose behind collection of tax. Okay, what is that purpose behind collection of the tax we discussed. So next we discussed about power to levy taxes. That power to levy taxes. Can you tell me what are the two article numbers we referred in this pointer? Article number 265 and article number 246. Third one we discussed sources as well as components of income tax law. So can you tell me how many sources or components we have? 5. The first one, Income Tax Act 1961, 2025. Second one, Income Tax Rules 2026, Annual Finance Act, Circulars, Notifications, and Case Laws. Next, we discuss the Section 4. What is the Section 4? Charging section. So in this charging section only, we discussed multiple definitions and multiple words meaning. So first we discussed the section 2 clause 77. What is the definition? Person definition we discussed. After completion of the person definition, we discussed the total income meaning. Next we discussed about the general rule in the Income Tax Act 2025. What is a general rule? Whatever that income you earned during the tax year, on that income you are required to pay the tax in the next immediately succeeding financial year. Yes, next we discussed the definition of the tax year under section 3. Did you remember these are all raw? So we discuss a tax year definition. Next we discuss the basic exemption limits for the every person. Basic exemption limit for every person. Next, okay. If any total income earned by a person during the tax year, if exceeded the basic exemption limit, that person can be called as an SSC. So SSC definition we discussed in the section 2 clause 11. So next we discussed the income tax rates for every person, including we discussed what surcharge rates. Yes ma, including we discuss surcharge rates. Next health and education cess. Next we discussed special tax rates. So till now charging section is done. Next we started the immediately after completion of special tax rates, we discuss section 156. What is that ma? Rebate. Rebate for resident individual. Rebate for whom ma? Resident individual. Yes, after that we discussed the section 516. What is that? Rounding off. Rounding off of total income and the tax payable and tax refundable. These are all the things we should rounding off under which section? 516. This is only the summary. Okay, now we have to start with the next concept in the basic concept chapter. What is that? Seventh one, average tax rate versus maximum marginal tax rate. Six concepts are already done. Now we have to start with the seventh one. Give the heading in your notes. Average tax rate versus maximum marginal tax rate. In shortcuts, we can call this as an MMR, maximum marginal tax rate. This is called as what ma? MMR. Understood ra? Okay. Sir, we are going to use this average tax rate point in every problem in DTAA chapter. What is that ma? DTAA. I think we written everything. Okay, chapters and all the names we written already. In that one chapter, double taxation, avoidance agreement, 14 marks weightage. Okay, in every question, yes, we have to use this concept of average tax rate. So that's why we will discuss that average tax rate meaning in the basic concepts itself. Shall we? Now listen carefully. If I am given the 1 lakh total income and I only given the tax liability also 31,200. If I am asking at what rate we collected this amount of tax on this income, yes, how you can calculate? Definitely you can calculate 31,200 divided by how much? 1 lakh into 100. Then automatically we can calculate the at what rate we collected this tax, right? So if you observe, yes, tax payable. Can you tell me what is the tax payable? We calculated 31,200. Okay, divided by total income. How much ma? 1 lakh. So at what rate we calculated this tax liability on this total income? 31.2. Whatever the rate we identified, this is only average tax rate. Sir, how we calculated also we can say simply 30% is generally tax rate plus what health and education says what is that 31 point. Please calculate 30 plus 4% how much 31.2. Sir, but we don't know what is that combination, but we can calculate the effectively what is that average tax rate. So use this formula and try to write it down average tax rate. It is a general formula. It is not that much involved. Complications are involved. No. But the same thing we can use in the every question in DTAA chapter. Double taxation avoidance agreement chapter. Please copy the first point in this concept, average tax rate. At what tax rate we collected the tax liability? At what tax rate we collected the tax liability on so and so total income? This is only average tax rate. Copied up. Clear? Please write it on this example also, all of you. Please try to write it on this example also. Okay, next concept onwards we can write together. Just this concept you can copy after explanation. Done. Next, what is that heading we used? Maximum marginal tax rate. Sir, in the name itself, what is the tax rate we want to apply? Maximum. So maximum means highest, right? Maximum means what ma? Highest. And generally you are an individual. Based on your income, you can pay the tax. Suppose your income is in the lower slab, low tax rate. If your income is falls in high slab rate, you have to pay the tax with the high. But in Income Tax Act 2025, if any of the SSC conducted defaults, they will mention certain procedures and policies for you. You have to give the PAN number. Yes, you have to pay the taxes properly. But if you violated these things, in certain cases, they are clearly saying you have to pay the tax by using the what ma? MMR. Not in all cases. In specific cases, they will mention the some of the SSCs are required to pay the tax with the what ma? maximum marginal tax rate. In future chapters, I will tell you in which cases SSEs are required to pay the tax with the maximum marginal tax rate. It is like a punishment only. Or if I have a 10 lakh income, what is a slab as per optional tax rate? 30%. But no need to pay surcharge because my total income just how much ma? 10 lakh above. If total income exceeds 50 lakh above, then what is the surcharge ma? 10%. But without any reason, in some sections, department is saying that you have to pay the tax with the what maximum marginal tax rate. Simply, I will say you have to mention the PAN number in certain cases. If you are not mentioned, or if you mention wrongly, and certain cases AOP, BOI also required to pay the tax with the what maximum marginal tax rate. On that occasion, in future chapters we'll discuss tax at the rate of MMR. But you should know what do you mean by the MMR here itself. Okay. Sir, for individual, I am calculating the maximum marginal tax rate. Can you tell me for whom I am calculating the maximum marginal tax rate? Ma individual. My individual followed the default tax regime under section 202. What is the highest slab rate? 30%. You can see 202 rates. What is the highest slab? 30. Highest surcharge rate? 25 only. If exceeds 2 crore, always how much ma? 25. Health and education says ma? 4%. Please calculate this effective tax rate by using this ma? 30 plus 25 percentage plus 4 percentage. How much it will be? 39. How much it will be? 39. Next, under optional tax regime, suppose if this individual following the optional tax regime, what is that highest slab rate? 30%. Highest surcharge rate? 37. If total income exceeds 5 crore, what is that surcharge rate? 37. Next, health and education says 4. Please calculate effective tax rate ma 30 plus 37 plus 4%. How much it will be? Tell me Ram. 42.744. In this example, I given only for individual Ram. In the same way, you can calculate maximum marginal tax rate for every SSV. Highest income tax rate, highest surcharge rate, health and education says combination only. We can call it as what ma? Maximum marginal tax rate. Can you calculate maximum marginal tax rate for partnership firm? Please calculate. What is that partnership firm slab rate highest ma? 30%. What is the surcharge rate? 12%. If total income of the partnership firm exceeds 1 crore, always how much? 12%. What is that health and education says? 4%. Can you tell me effectively how much it will be? 34.944. Can you calculate the maximum marginal tax rate for the domestic company? Yes. Can you tell me highest slab rate for domestic company? 25 is there, but in any other case how much ma? 30. Highest 25 or 30? 30. What is that highest surcharge rate for domestic company? 7 or 12% is there. Which is the highest? 12. And how much health and education says? 4%. Can you calculate in the same way for the foreign companies? Yes. Highest slab rate is what? Highest rate is 35. Okay, next highest surcharge 2, 5. Can you tell me what is that ma? 5. Next 4%. Just I given here example as an individual. But in the same way you can calculate the maximum marginal tax rate for every SSC, every person also. Understood? But can I apply the maximum marginal tax rate for computing tax liability for all SSCs in all cases? No. Whenever act saying these SSC required to pay the tax by using MMR, on that occasions we have to use this tax rate. What is that? Maximum marginal tax rate. Understood? This is only one concept. It is not so much important now. In further chapters, always we have to use this reference. In DTAA, always we have to use this concept. Okay, in TDS chapter also, in other chapters like trust also, we have to use the word MMR. On that time, I will not explain anything because now itself you know what do you mean by the maximum marginal tax rate. Sir, if you defaulted any provision of the act, department want to punish you with a high tax rate. What is that high tax rate? Maximum marginal tax rate. Understood all of you? Okay. Now. So now I will go with the one more concept. That concept number is nothing but 8. Shall we start? You have to copy here. Okay. Please copy till 11. We haven't time up to 11. Please copy. That just for an example, we computed everything for whom? Individual. Please come to classes every day regularly. Okay. Throughout the 3 to 4 months, if you absent for 4 to 5 days, that's okay. But if you present only for that 40 to 50 days, that is an horrible. Don't do that mistakes. Anyhow, we have an holidays. Okay, holidays means nothing but every Sunday is an holiday after weekend exam. And next every festival, we have many festivals during the coaching tenure. Upcoming festival, Rakhi. Array. On that day there is no holiday. Morning or evening, Rakhi kettukon radave. So don't expect a holiday on Rakhi. Done. I think now you understood how to calculate effective income tax rate. Effective income tax rate means income tax rate plus surcharge plus health and education says if you aggregate it, then you will get effective income tax rate. In exam, whether they asked general income tax rate or effective rate, you have to decide. Sorry. Now, what is that concept number we have to start? Okay, we added one more concept here. What is that, ma? ATR versus MMR. ATR versus what, ma? MMR. Next. Now I will start with the 7th point is over. Now I will start with the 8th point. Shall we? You can write along with me also now. Yes, I want to discuss about the revenue receipt versus, what is that concept, ma? Revenue receipts versus capital receipts. Revenue receipt versus what? Capital receipts. Shall we? Revenue receipt versus what, ma? Capital receipts. So generally, okay, on income we have to collect the tax, right? On what? Income we have to collect the tax. Now we can get the two types of receipt. Receipts means income only. But one is capital receipt, another one is what, ma? Revenue receipt. On both the things we have to pay the tax, right? Okay. We haven't revenue receipts. We haven't capital receipt. Okay, whatever you know in your intermediate level, revenue expenditure, capital expenditure, like that, we haven't revenue receipts, capital receipt. So now I want to discuss which one is required to tax and what is the meaning of revenue receipts and capital receipts. We'll discuss in detailed way. Okay. First, for explaining this concept, I will take one simple example. One house property we can take. What is that? One house property we can take. Okay. Sir, if you have an house property, example, you are only owner of this house property. How many types of income you can generate from this house property? Just imagine and tell me, yes, if you have an house property, yes, from this house property, how many types of incomes you can generate? Okay, first I will tell you, if you consider this as an income generation point, this is only we can call it as what ma source of income. Example, I have a business only source of income for me. If I am an employee, job only what a source of income. If you generating income from anything, that is only for you source of income. Can I call here house property is an source of income for you? Yes. If it is source of income for you, from this you can generate two types of incomes. One is rental income. If you given this property as an let out to others, that other person tenant will pay the water rent to you. Okay, that is only first will write it down. Please write along with me. Yes, you can easily write it down. First, if you given this as an let out to others, every month, suppose example, we are going to receive 1 lakh rent per month. Okay, imagine. Okay, in examples itself, we can consider more income. In reality, maybe you will get less only, but okay, we can imagine it as an, sir, by using the source of income only, we are earning this income, right? Just by using the source of income, we are getting the rental income. Okay. SSC name, can you tell me? Mr. A is an owner of the house. Now Mr. A using the source of income and he is getting one income. That income we are calling it as what? Rental income. Okay. Next, sir, he is an aggressive fellow. What he is doing, I will tell you. Sir, why I need to get the rental income every month 1 lakh, 1 lakh, 1 lakh? Completely, I will sell this house. Okay, instantly I can get 50 to 60 lakh. This is also another way of earning income by sale of what? Source of income. So now I am selling the source of income. Now we are getting the just 150 lakh rupees. Out of these two, one is revenue receipt, one is capital receipt. Tell me, which one is revenue receipt? Rental income is revenue receipt because regularly we can earn by using the source of income. Meaning itself we can derive by using the source of income. We are getting any income means that is called as what ma revenue receipt. Another way, if you earn any income regularly from the source of income, that receipt is which receipt ma? Revenue receipt. Next, by sale of source of income, if you earn any income, that is called as what ma? Capital receipt. Yes ma, that means after this receipt, source of income is in existence or not in existence? Not in existence in your hands. Okay, if you take a simple example, if you are taking the yield from the any tree, that the yielding is called as what? Revenue receipt. If you are selling that entire tree to others, that is what? Capital receipt. So now if you understood this example, now I will tell you the meaning and taxability again. Okay, shall we copy it up to know? Yes, the first receipt we have to discuss, that is what ma? Revenue receipts. That is called as what ma? Revenue receipt. The second one is called as what ma? Capital receipt. First one is revenue receipt. Second one is nothing but what ma? Capital receipt. Okay, I will tell you in the revenue receipts two ways, ma. The first one I will discuss the meaning. Second, I will discuss the what ma taxability. First, we'll discuss about the what ma meaning. Second, I will discuss about the whether the revenue receipts are taxable or not. First, anyone can you tell me the meaning, right? In simple words, we can write it down. Income and by using the source of income. What is the word important? Using. Yes, please write it down. Income earned by using source of income. By using the source of income. Income and by using the source of income, that is called as what ma revenue receipts. So now I will tell you the meaning of next one. What is that meaning, ma? We can discuss the meaning of capital receipt first. Then after we can discuss the taxability in the both the cases separately. Shall we? Meaning, shall we tell me, ma? Income and by sale of source of income. Income and by sale of source of income. By sale of what? Source of income is called as what, ma? Capital receipt. Simple, ra. Okay, if I have a business, every month I am taking the income from my business by sale of some products, etc. That is what, revenue receipt. Because I am doing the business, from business only I am getting some income. Okay, completely I am selling my business to others. That is what, capital receipt. Source of income using revenue receipt. Source of income itself we are selling. That is an capital receipt. Taxability, remember, revenue receipts are always taxable unless otherwise exempted in the act. If that is revenue receipt, always it is treated as income. On that income we have to pay the tax. In certain cases in the act, they will tell you exemption. Or one simple example. We are generating income from agriculture lands. Agriculture lands is source of income for me. I am generating income from the agriculture land. What is that income? Agricultural income. Revenue received only. Example. But that is taxable or exempt? Exempt. Clearly they mentioned it as an exempt. That is only exempt. Remaining revenue receipts are always what, ma? Taxable. Remember this word, this sentence you have to register in your mind. Revenue receipts are always treated as income and taxable unless otherwise exempt in the act. Whenever they are saying exempt, in that particular point only we have to take it as exempt. Remaining all cases, that is what, taxable. Use that wording perfectly here. Tell me, taxability. Yes, always. Tell me, always taxable. Always taxable unless otherwise exempted. Whenever they are saying specifically exempted, in that case only exemption is there. In remaining all cases, that is always what, ma? Taxable. Please write it down in a reverse way. Always what, ma? Exempt. Always exempt unless otherwise what, taxable. I will tell you simple example. Capital gains. Capital receipts only. You are selling your capital asset. That is which income, capital receipt. In that case, that is taxable. Remaining all are what, ma? Exempt. Sir, all capital receipts are exempt only, but in certain cases they are want to tax the capital receipt. Best example, capital gain income. If you are selling your house, can you tell me what is that head of income will attract capital gain? Because capital asset is transferred, you have to calculate which gain ma? Capital gain. Capital gain is taxable or not? Yes. We discussed already tax rates under capital gain head also. Which sections ra? 196, 7, 8 we discussed. That means capital gain income is taxable or not taxable? Taxable. Generally reverse point ma? Yes, always what ra? Exempted. Capital receipts always what ma? Exempted. I will tell you simple meaning ra. That is not included in the income definition. That's why exempted. Revenue receipts always included in the income definition. Capital receipts are always what ma? Excluded from the income definition. That's why exempted. But certain capital receipts included. What is a certain capital receipt? Capital gain income. Tell me. Unless otherwise what ra? Unless otherwise. Unless otherwise taxable. Sir, you have to know these things generally. Okay, you have to know these things generally. Okay, what is that revenue receipt? What is that capital receipt? Okay, if you know what is the taxability, revenue receipts always taxable. Whenever they are saying exempt, in that cases we can give the what ma exemption from the tax. Capital receipts are always exempted. Whenever they are saying it is taxable, we have to pay the tax on capital receipt. Example, whenever it is taxable means best example is what ma? Capital gain. Clear? So this is only the concept of revenue receipt versus capital receipt. This is enough for our understanding of the revenue receipts versus capital receipts. Now we'll start directly with the marginal relief concept. Important. Yes, you can expect a 7-mark question. Okay. In rare cases, you can get 7-mark for question, but they can give the MCQ from this for 2 marks. Okay, but you have to understood the next concept properly. This is only the first and foremost problematic area in our CMA final direct taxation in our discussion. Shall we give the heading? What is that concept ma? 9th concept. We have to discuss it as an marginal relief. If you know already this concept ma, okay, but again we have to understood this concept along with the question and answers. So that's why please concentrate properly. Use the calculator for doing the computations. Okay. If you have, okay, otherwise use the phone calculator also in this session, not in all sessions. Okay. Now I will take one example for explaining the marginal relief. Sir, relief means nothing but benefit to the taxpayer only, right? But they are given the huge relief or a marginal, a small amount of relief, a small amount of relief. Why they will give the relief? If SSC having burden, they will give the what relief. So now we'll understood what is that SSC burden now first. Then what is the relief he can get also we can understood. Okay. I will take the 2 cases, case 1 and case 2. First listen, then if possible I will give an time also for copying this. Just listen first. Case 1 and case 2, I will give you Mr. A. A is also am mentioning 42 years of age. How many years of age ma? 42 years of age. And I'm not talking anything about residential status means he's a resident. Please understood. If I'm not giving anything means what? Resident. If non-resident, definitely they will mention in the question itself. Okay. 42 years of age and he having the total income. He having the total income rupees 50 lakhs exactly. What is the total income? 50 lakh. Is following the optional tax regime. What is a optional tax regime? That means he opted out from the default tax regime, right? Okay. Now I am asking the what is the tax liability, Anna? What is the tax liability? Okay, you can calculate easily. But in the same way, I am given the case 2 also for you. What is that case 2? I am given the same data, same SSC, same age, same regime, but just I want to change the total income. Previously, how much, ma? 50 lakh. Now I want to take just one more lakh, etc. here. Please calculate on your own what is the tax liability in case 1 first and case 2. Whenever I am asking tax liability, what is the meaning, ma? Income tax liability, surcharge, health and education cess. Please do it on your own in the class notes itself directly. Okay. Computed. So here in case 1, okay, you can calculate, just I will calculate on my own. If any mistake is there, you can let me know. So 0 to here 2.5 lakh, right? What is the slab rate? Nil. So that's why automatically we can say here in this slab tax liability also what, ma? Nil. Next slab 2.5 lakh to 5 lakh. What is the slab rate? 5%. Please apply that 5% and tell me 12,500. Next slab 5 lakh to 10 lakh. What is that, ma? 20%. How much? 1 lakh. Ma, these are all the things. Okay. By way of doing practicing, automatically you can register these figures into your mind. But in exam, step wise, you have to write it down. Yes. Up to 10 lakh, I know what is the tax liability, ma? 1 lakh 12,500. But you have to present in this way only. I know always up to 10 lakh, 1 lakh, 12,500. But you have to present. Okay. Above 10 lakh. Above 10 lakh, what is that income we have in this example? 40 lakh. 40 lakh into 30%. How much, ma? 12 lakh. How much? 12 lakh. If you calculated the yes income tax liability, that is 13 lakh 12,500. Okay, after computation of income tax liability, we have to add surcharge. But in this situation, whether we have to pay the any surcharge? No. Why? If total income exceeds 50 lakh, then only we have to pay. Here exactly how much, ma? 50 lakh. That's why surcharge is not there. If surcharge is not there, but okay, income tax plus surcharge combination, how much, ma? 13 lakh 12,500. So for this we have to add what, ma? Health and education cess at the rate of 4%. You know already health and education cess is an last step in the tax computation. Okay, we have to add how much it will be? 52,500. Total tax liability in case 1 is 13 lakh 65,000. Understood all of you? In the same way, I want to do it for the case 2. Yes, I want to do it for the what? Case 2. Okay, what changes we have to do for this case too? Yes, here we have to make the changes and all the things automatically will change. Tell me, above, above, how much amount? 10 lakh, how much is there? 41 lakh. 41 lakh into 30%, it will become how much, ma? 12 lakh 30,000. Understood what are the changes we are going to make? Now, if it is 12 lakh 30,000, yes, total also will change. Tell me, 13 lakh 42,500. So now definitely we have to levy the surcharge. So surcharge now we have to levy at the rate of what? 10%. On what? Income tax. Surcharge rate deciding depending upon what? Total income. But if you know the surcharge rate, please apply the surcharge rate on what? Surcharge rate we have to apply on what? Income tax. Tell me. 1 lakh, sorry. 13 lakh 42,500 into 10%. Tell me, 1 lakh 34,250. Total income tax plus surcharge total 14 lakh 76,750. But health and education says definitely you have to understood income tax plus surcharge combined amount on that we have to collect 4%. How much it will be? Yes, ma, 59,070. How much? 15 lakh 35,820. What is my understanding in this? Ma, SSC, okay, earned more than 50 lakh additionally. How much income he earned? 1 lakh. Ma, just he earned more than 50 lakh. What is that additional income he earned? Yes, tell me. 1 lakh. Now, because of earning 1 lakh additional income, now we are required to pay the additional tax, including the health and education says effect. What is that additional tax we are going to pay? 1,70,820. Are this is burden or not? Up to 50 lakh, you are saying only 13,65,000. I will pay this and I will give the additionally whatever I earn to you only. Because you are saying more than 50 lakh income I earn. Okay. But if I calculate a tax liability, additional income is just 1 lakh. But you are asking the additional tax as in how much, ma? 1,70,820. 1,70,820. Understood? Yes. Now, SSC having the burden or not? Yes. This burden can be a relief given by the department by using the marginal relief. So, if you copy this answer under tax computation answer, then we can take the format of marginal relief computation. So first you understood in some cases SSC having the burden. Why this difference came first? Because of surcharge. Because of what, ma? Surcharge. Because of levy of the surcharge, in certain cases SSC can get the burden. That burden can be, yes, reduced by using the what, ma? Marginal relief concept. Sir, here the only the reason why SSC is required to pay the additional tax more than the additional income only because of levying of what ma surcharge. Okay, directly we can say whenever surcharge introduced into our act, they introduced marginal relief concept also. I think in 2014, in old Income Tax Act 1961, they introduced surcharge concept. Upon the introduction of surcharge concept, they introduced the what ma marginal relief also. Because of such as some SSEs are suffering, for those SSEs we can give the what ma marginal relief. Whenever I am saying marginal relief, why they are given the marginal relief? In order to give the relief for SSC is because of what ma surcharge. Please write it down this first. And you have to write it down additional income as well as additional tax also. Please write it down. Please write it down here also. What is the additional income he earned? What is the additional tax he earned also? Oh, sorry. What is the additional tax he required to pay also? Clear? Now. So just how they will frame the question on marginal relief, just I will give you. That now, as of now, we are not at all discussed any practical question. So now we are going to discuss. That's why I will give this question number as an example number 1. What is that? Example number 1. Okay. Mr. A, yes, that same case, I'm giving it as a question format. Mr. A is how many years, ma? 42 years. Is how many years? 42 years. Having total income, yes, how much? 51 lakh. Because he can get the burden only when he having the total income 51 lakh. For tax year 2026-27. So don't write it on it as an assessment years as well as the previous years. Now in new act we have to refer with the TY, tax year. Okay. Now they are asking compute. Okay, what is the requirement? Compute tax liability. They are asking, please compute tax liability of Mr. A. Yes, of Mr. A by using which tax rates? Optional tax rates. By using optional tax rate. That means SSC opting the what? Optional tax rates. Understood? Now, they are not saying anything about the marginal relief board also. Just they are asking what ma tax liability. But you have to understood this SSC is going to get the marginal relief. How can I get an idea? I will tell you, don't worry. But you know already, okay, in this case he have a burden. Now we have to provide the marginal relief. But in the next questions itself, how you can generate an idea about SSE can get the marginal relief. In the question, they will not mention, they will ask only tax liability. Yesterday also we discussed rebate. They will not mention anything about rebate. You have to identify whether the rebate is available for the SSE or not. Based on total income. Okay, total income less than 12 lakh. Total income marginally more than 12 lakh. Total income less than how much ma? 5 lakh in optional tax regime. These are all the things you have to identify. Here also you can get an idea about it, but just follow it. Okay. So now I will try to write it on the solution for this. Just listen, it is a very easy concept. Okay. If I am asking about how to calculate tax liability, you will calculate in the same way, right? Tax liability means income tax, surcharge, education cess. But here I have a doubt. SSE can get marginal relief. So that's why tax liability you can calculate by using some steps for getting the marginal relief. That in this way you can calculate. But here, how can I reduce the marginal relief? Relief means reduction of tax liability. How can I reduce the marginal relief? So that's why I will say always, if you haven't doubt about SSE is getting marginal relief, please calculate tax liability by using the steps. Shall we start that? What are the steps available? Yes. So first give the heading. What is that heading, ma? Computation of tax liability. Computation of tax liability of Mr. A for tax year 26, 27. Every time, even in exam also, the requirement of the question, you have to give it as an what ma? Heading. Okay, then. So two columns generally we can maintain. One is particulars column. One is particulars column. Another one is what ma? Amount column. One is particular column. Another one is what ma? Amount column. One is particular column. Another one is what ma? Amount column. First step. Okay. Step number 1. Compute income tax on total income including surcharge. What is the total income given in the question, ma? 51 lakh. Please calculate tax liabilities including what? Surcharge. Just surcharge only. Don't add health and education as why? After removing the relief, that to marginal relief, last step we can do what? Health and education says. Already we discussed health and education says when we have to do addition, last step after removing the marginal relief. That's why our discussions as of now, tax on total income, tax on what ma? Total income including what? Tell me. Including surcharge. Tell me, tax on simply 51 lakh, right? On what amount we have to calculate tax? Total income means tax on 51 lakh. Including surcharge we have to calculate. Already we have a calculation, right? We have a calculation. What is that, ma? Tax on 51 lakh including surcharge figure. Please tell me, ma. 14 lakh 76,750. 14 lakh 76,750. Now 14 lakh 76,750. Are this is expectation by whom, ma? Department. Are generally if you have a 51 lakh income, on that 51 lakh income tax is what and surcharge is what totally department is expecting from whom? SSE. That this is my note only for your understanding. This is whose expectation, ma? Department expectation. This is an whose expectation? Department expectation. Understood? Now This is nothing but whose expectation ma? Department is expecting this much of income tax plus surcharge from the Mr. A. Now, step 2. Shall we compute all of you? No computation. Already we computed everything. Just we have to present in the format. Because earlier we computed every computation related to tax liability in this case. Now, step 2. Tax on very important. Basic limits. Tax on what ma? Basic limits. Including what ra? Surcharge. Including what ra? Surcharge. Tell me, basic limit means for individual, when we are going to levy the surcharge ma, basically if it is exceed 50 lakh, that means basic limit in case of individuals, surcharge basic limits. Now I want to discuss what is that ma? Surcharge basic limits I want to discuss. What is the basic limits for individual ra? 50 lakh, 1 crore, 2 crore, 50 lakh, 1 crore, 2 crore, 5 crore. That means basically up to that no surcharge. Next we have to levy the what ma? Surcharge. Example ra, below 1 crore ra, 10%. If exceeds 1 crore, how much ma? 15%. That's why these limits I will call it as an basic limits for what ma? Surcharge. Okay. In the same way, can you tell me for partnership form, including LLP local authority, what is the basic limit? 1 crore. 1 crore exceeds always what ra? 12%. Next for domestic company, what is the basic limit? 1 crore, 10 crore. Next in case of foreign companies, what is the basic limit ma? 1 crore, 10 crore. That means for every SSE, we can easily identify what is the basic limit for what ma? Surcharge. But in this question, what is the basic limit? 50 lakhs. Here basic limit is what ra? 50 lakh. Okay, including surcharge. Plus, we already discussed one point. Whatever that excess we earned more than basic limit, we will give it to the department only. Because we felt additional tax is more than additional income. So that's why what we can do, this additional income we can surrender to them without paying the what ma? Additional tax. This is beneficial only. Or instead of paying 1,70,820, it is only better to give. So now, what is that excess amount? So can you tell me excess over basic limit? Sorry, excess amount over basic limit. Please tell me amount over basic limits. So all of you, please compute these things properly. What is that basic limit in this question? Tax on 50 lakh. Including what ma? Surcharge. But unfortunately 50 lakh related there is no surcharge. Plus what we decided, excess amount and over the basic limits. Can you tell me how much excess we end here? 1 lakh. Now please listen carefully. What is that amount we going to pay as an tax? Yes, on basic limit ma 13 lakh 12,500, right? Including surcharge. What is that? 13 lakh 12,500. 13 lakh 12,500 plus how much we have to give ma? 1 lakh. Total 14 lakh. Tell me 14 lakh 12,500. But remember, this is only whose capability ma? SSC capability. Sir, I can pay the tax on basic limit and excess whatever I earn, I will give it to department itself. This is only my capability. Yes. Now you can write it down. This is only whose capability? SSC capability. This is only whose capability? SSC capability. But now tell me, department expecting more than SSC capability? Yes, is ready to pay the basic limits related tax. and whatever and more than basic limit, he want to give it to the department only. Still they are expecting more. Why they are expecting more? Because of surcharge. Here surcharge is not there, but here surcharge is there. That's why they are expecting more. Now SSC is under burden or not? Now they are saying you can get the relief in this case. Step 3. What is a step 3? Marginal relief they are going to provide. What is it? Marginal relief they are going to provide. Can you tell me when you can get the marginal relief? Department expectation is more than SSC capability. We can get the marginal relief. Step 1 minus what? Step 2. Please calculate step 1 minus step 2. What is that amount? 64,250 is an marginal relief you can get. So they are not giving complete relief, just they are given the 64,250. What is ultimately they will ask this one, and they are given the relief. Please reduce this. Ultimately you will get this as an answer. Okay. So step 4 you will get a more clarity. Just tell me what is a tax payable or tax liability. Yes, tax liability will ask by the department always as per their expectation. They will not compromise on this. How much? 14,76,750. But department is giving the marginal relief. Can you tell me when you calculated the marginal relief? Already in step 3 you calculated. Please reduce that 64,250. Yes, if you reduce that, yes, the finally you will get the step 2 answer only. Please check it out. What is that answer you will get? Step 2. What is that? 14,12,500. Can I say it is a tax liability? No. Health and education says is a last step in the tax computation. What is that, Health and education says at the rate of 4%. How much it will be totally? 56,500. Please check, 4%, 56,500. Totally your tax liability is 14,69,000. 14,69,000. Sir, but this is in steps for calculating the marginal relief with the tax liability. So now tell me, when you have a doubt to get the marginal relief, simple. Your total income is near to basic limits for surcharge. The near to basic limit means how much, sir? 1 lakh, 2 lakh, 3 lakh, excess over the basic limits for surcharge. So here, can you tell me near basic limit how much income we earn more? 1 lakh. First I want to write it down. Yes, just for your information only. What are the basic limits for surcharge? Okay, not in our notes, just we can write it down. Tell me, basic limits for surcharge means for your understanding purposes only, not so important. Okay, for individual, if he following the default tax regime, what is that, default tax regime, it is an what, optional tax regime. Can you tell me what is that? What is that surcharge basic limit, 50 lakh, 1 crore, 2 crore. Here 50 lakh, 1 crore, 2 crore, 5 crore. That means in addition to these incomes, if an SSC having the 1 lakh, 2 lakh, 3 lakh, that means in our question SSC having the total income, in addition to this basic limit 1 lakh, 2 lakh, 3 lakh, definitely there is a chance to get the marginal relief. So that's why please compute the tax liability by using these steps. Please compute the tax liability by using these steps. So then only we can reduce the marginal relief from the what, tax liability. Next, not only for individual, then this is for HUF also. AOP POI, AJP also the same, right ma? So next for partnership firm, what is the basic limit for such as ma? 1 crore. For domestic company, what is the basic limit for such as 1 crore, 10 crore. For foreign company also what ma? Same. Next, cooperative society ma, it is similar to like which company? Domestic company, 1 crore as well as what? 10 crore. If an SSC having the total income in addition to the basic limit excess 1 lakh, 2 lakh, 3 lakh, then definitely SSC can get the marginal relief. Okay, if you haven't doubt about getting marginal relief, please do tax liability computation by using these steps only. By using these steps only. Can I give one more question? Do you can you solve this question for me? So example 1 is over. Now I will tell you example 2. Sir, already you have these steps now. If you don't remember these steps now, yes, turn the pages and please refer these steps and please solve the answer. Shall we? Okay. Okay. Example 2, right? Example 2. Mr. A over. Okay. Now Mr. B having the age of 34 years, having age of how many years ma? 34 years. If I am not saying anything about residential status, what is that? Resident. Having total income, rupees 2,20,000. Sorry, 2 crore 20 lakhs. Sorry ma, 2 crores 20 lakhs. For tax year 26-27. For tax year 26-27. Compute tax liability. Compute what? Tax liability by using which rates? Optional tax rates. By using which tax rates ma? Optional tax rates. They are asking tax liability, super. But now I am in dilemma. What is the dilemma? I will tell you. Sir, you said already basic limits for surcharge limits over and above 1 lakh, 2 lakh, 3 lakh is there. In shortcut, definitely we can get marginal relief. We can calculate the tax liability by using these steps. But now in this question, they given 20 lakh. If you observe, what is the basic limit for surcharge? In optional 2 crore is there. But more than 2 crore, they given 1 lakh, 2 lakh, 3 lakh additional. Then definitely you have a chance to get the marginal relief. For calculating tax liability, we can follow the steps. Still I have a doubt. What is my doubt? Maybe I can get marginal relief. You haven't doubt now? Then solve directly by using these steps. Okay. So now I will solve in the both the ways. What is the requirement of the question? Yes, please try to listen carefully. This is a solution now we have to perform. This is a solution now we have to perform. Yes, in this question I can do the answer in the two alternatives. One is alternative 1. One is alternative 1. One is what? Alternative 1. Yes, what is that alternative 1 heading? I can give computation of, tell me ma, what is the requirement? Computation of tax liability of whom? Mr. R, sorry, Mr. B for tax year 2026-27. This is only heading we have to give. Now we have to solve the question by using the what? marginal relief steps we can calculate the tax liability. For this, first we have to maintain the two columns. What is that, ma? Particulars as well as what amount. Shall we, ma? Without seeing or by way of seeing the earlier, please tell me the steps clearly. Step 1, as it is words we have to write. Tax on total income including surcharge. Tax on total income including what, ma? Surcharge. So nothing but tax on total income including surcharge means here we have to calculate tax on 2 crore, how much, ma? 20 lakhs. Right, ra? We have to calculate tax on 2 crore 20 lakhs. So earlier we have an working note, that's why we copied directly, but here you have to solve in the question itself, ra. Okay, tell me. Yes, please tell me what is the tax liability, ma? 0 to 2.5 lakh, nil you can get. 2.5 lakh to 5 lakh, yes, 5%. What is that? 12,500. 5 lakh to 10 lakh, how much, ma? 10%, 1 lakh. Right, ra? Are you following? About 10 lakh. Here only you have to take care properly. Sorry, this is 20%, right? 20%. Next 30%. Please tell me how much. Above 10 lakh means you have an 2 crores 10 lakh. More than 10 lakh, how much is there, ma? 2 crores 10 lakhs is there. Into 30%. Please tell me. 60. Yes, please tell me 63. Total. Tell me total. 64 lakh 12,500, right? Right, ra? Yes. Now, surcharge we have to add, right, ma? Here we have to calculate everything including surcharge. Don't add health and education cess. Last we can do. Can you tell me surcharge rate, ra? You have to check the provision. If more than 2 crores, less than 5 crores, what is that surcharge, ma? 25%. Please tell me what is a 25% on that, and please do addition. I think 16 lakh 3,000, 125 total. 80 lakh 15,625. That means this is only answer we have to present in the Verma step 1. What is that answer? 80 lakh 15,625. This is whose expectation, ma? Department expectation. They want to collect this much of amount of tax from the SSC because he having the total income of 2 crores 20 lakh. But now, what is that SSC capability? We can calculate. Ma copy da. Following first of all. Okay. Step 2. Tell me step 2. What is that, ma? Exact word. Tax on basic limit. In this question, what is the basic limit? 2 crore. We are near to that what? 2 crore. That means our total income exceeded one basic limit near. That is what? 2 crore. Tax on basic limits. Including what, ma? Surcharge. Tax on basic limit including surcharge plus what is that amount we have to give it to the department itself, excess income over the what, 2 crores. So that is only we can write it down, excess over what, ma? Excess amount over basic limit. Excess amount over basic limits. Excess amount over the what? Basic limit. But tell me, if you identify, we have to calculate tax on how much, ma? First 2 crore. Yes, basic limit that is 2 crore. But additionally, whatever we earned, how much ma? 20 lakh we have to give it. So shall we compute first tax on 2 crores? Yes, ma. Shall we? Yes. In the next page, we can calculate. Tell me how to calculate tax. First, 0 to 2.5 lakh, that is nil. Next, 2.5 lakh to 5 lakh, 5%, that is 12,500. 5 lakh to 10 lakh, yes, 20%. How much, ma? 1 lakh. Next, above 10 lakh. Please carefully tell me, above 10 lakh, how much is there? 1 crore 90 lakhs only. 10 lakh above, how much is there? 1 crore 90 lakhs. Can you tell me? Apply 30% and tell me, 57 lakh. If it is 57 lakh and tell me the total, I think 58,000. 58 lakh 12,500. Now here also we have to add surcharge. Array, in this only you have to take care the surcharge. What is the rate? If the total income exceeds 2 crore, 25. Equal to 2 crores, 15 only. Many are doing the mistake here. Please tell me what is that 15%, ma? 8 lakh 71,875. Total 66 lakh 84,375. Can I substitute directly? No, no, no. This is an tax on 2 crores and please add 20 lakhs also. Finally, how much you will get here? 86 lakh 86 lakh 84,375. Are this is an whose capability? SSC can capable to pay tax on basic limit including surcharge. Extra amount also he can pay. Now, this is nothing but SSC capability. Whose capability, ma? SSC capability. Now tell me, he having any burden, Nora? No. He is perfectly all right. He having a more money in his hands for paying the water tax. And the department expecting just 80 lakh change. He have an 86 lakh capability. Now, do we need to provide marginal relief for him? So that's why step 3 we can write. What is the step 3? Yes. Can you tell me when we can provide the marginal relief, ma? Marginal relief we can provide only, yes, only if step 1. Okay, remember, but I am writing it in a reverse way. Step 1 is more than the what, ma? Step 2. But can you tell me in this case whether step 1 is more than step 2? No. So that's why marginal relief is here nil. Now what is the step 4? I will tell you. But ultimately department will ask the water tax liability. Can you tell me how much they will ask? Because you have a total income 2 crore 20 lakh. Yes, how much you have in ma? 2 crore 20 lakh. That's why definitely they will expect this much of amount of tax from you, excluding education cess, because we are not adding education cess here. So they will always expecting the tax amount of how much, ma? 80 lakh 15,625. But can you tell me here we are getting any marginal relief? No. So that's why here we are, okay, we computed marginal relief, but unfortunately we are not getting any marginal relief. That's why he has to pay 18 lakh 15,625. But tell me, can he capable to pay this? Yes. His capability nearly 86 lakh. But they're asking just how much, ma? 80 lakhs. That's why he can pay easily. But last step in the tax computation, we have to add health and education cess at the rate of 4%. How much it will be? 3 lakh 15,000 20,625. Total 83 lakh 36,250. But for your confidence making purposes only, just I presented alternative one. But I don't want to solve these steps. Directly I can compute tax liability. Why? I know this is an basic limits for surcharge over and above 1 lakh, 2 lakh, 3 lakh. Then I have to make a test. But here far away, that is an 20 lakh. So that's why I can definitely know there is no marginal relief in this case. Directly we can calculate the tax liability like this. Simple. If you have an idea about getting marginal relief, then do the tax liability in these steps. You know already there is no marginal relief. Directly you can perform like this. Can you tell me here, can I present alternative 2? So for this solution, we presented alternative 1. So now we can present in which alternative? Alternative 2. Okay. Alternative 1 is nothing but the tax liability we computed by using marginal relief steps. But now directly we can compute, but we can give the heading. What is that heading? Computation of declaration we have to do. Computation of what? Tax liability of Mr. B for tax year 2026-27. 2026-27. Clear? Now tell me. So directly we can calculate. Now we can perform that all the things in a some stages. Particulars. Yes, we have to do the computation. Particulars, computation, and last one we can maintain the what amount column. Shall we? Tell me the particulars column and computation and amount column. Yes, the first one, what is a slab? 0 to 2.5 lakh. Yes, is there any computation is required? No. Next to 2.5 lakh to 5 lakh. Can you tell me what is that slab? 2.5 lakh to 5 lakh slab is there. What is the tax rate required to be applied in this slab? 2.5 lakh into 5%. How much? 12,500. Okay, 5 lakh into 5 lakh to 10 lakh slab. 5 lakh into 20%. That is how much? 1 lakh slab. 1 lakh. Sorry. Next, above 10 lakh, how much is there in our question? 2 lakh 10,000. Sorry, 2 crores 10 lakh. Because our total income is 2 crores 20 lakhs. More than 10 lakh, how much is there? 2 crores 10 lakh. How much? 30%. How much? 63 lakh. Sir, if you are going to present in this way, at least you can expect the exemption. Okay, I know how to calculate in the calculator. Okay, some students always, many times I am saying, but after that exam they are messaging me, sir, time is not at all sufficient in an exam, sir. Okay, for writing 100 marks, definitely difficult to attempt within 3 hours. But if you practiced very well, at least you can attempt 80 to 85 marks. Only practice can make the difference. Okay, I know how to present everything within the 3 hours because I'm writing everything in that class itself, and I have an 5 to 6 type of notes in my hands that all are in my handwriting only. If you are okay, if you don't have any time to write that many versions, but at least one class notes, and while practicing every question you have to make this presentation. Okay, how much? 64 lakh 12,000. So this is an income tax liability. For this we have to add what? Surcharge. What is the surcharge rate? 25%, because you have a total income more than. Tell me what is the surcharge? 16 lakh 3,125 plus for this. Yes, tell me what is that amount you will get? 80 lakh 15,000 625. For this, I have to add the H and EC. What is that H and EC meaning? Health and education says. Tell me what is the percentage I have to apply? 4%. Tell me how much? 3,20,625. Total 83,36,002. Clear? So the same answers we got in alternative 1 as well as alternative 2, right? If you observe. The same answer we got in the alternative 1 as well as alternative 2. Reason? Marginal. There is no marginal relief. That's why we got an answer in the both are one and the same. Clear? Done. Shall we do one more question? Sir, in exam, if they are asking tax liability, you have to check whether he is eligible for rebate, whether he is eligible for what? Marginal relief. Whether he is an eligible for rebate or whether he is an eligible for what? Marginal relief. Rebate only for resident individual. Rebate only for whom? Resident individual. But marginal relief for all SSCs who suffered because of surcharge. Marginal relief is for all. Many are thinking rebate and marginal relief are one and the same. No, 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 no. Who suffered because of surcharge. Example, we discussed SSC who having the total income of how much? 51 lakh. He suffered because of surcharge. So that's why we provided the marginal relief. Marginal relief can be claimed by the all the SSCs who suffered because of surcharge. Rebate only for resident individual. Again, I am repeating this point. Many are confusing. Marginal relief is available for the all SSCs who suffered because of what? Surcharge rates. When they will get the suffering? If the basic limit for surcharge and additionally 1 lakh, 2 lakh, 3 lakh income is your total income, definitely you can get the suffering because of surcharge rate. Then department is going to provide the marginal relief for you. But what about the rebate? The rebate under section 156 will be only for resident individuals. Are you clear up to now? So this is a very important point. Many are thinking both are one and the same. Then go to Assam directly without any ticket. Okay, and late good also direct ekkiyochu. Okay, there is a huge difference. Are marginal relief for simply rich persons. If you are paying surcharge means you are rich only, right? Rebate is for poor. How you are combining these two concepts? Only because of not listening the classes, taking it as a light, we are combining these two. Understood? Can you do the same mistake again in that upcoming exams? Okay, if you do not, no problem. Then you can realize. Shall we do one more question? Last question for today morning session. Okay, that just I can explain one question. Simply I can give you as a homework. Okay, proudly we can say. You can also say proudly, chapter 1 done. But there is no use. Okay, now example number 3 or 4. Okay. Already we discussed the marginal relief for which type of SSCs? For all SSCs who suffered because of what? Surcharge. Now I am giving the question related to company SSC. Previously I given the question related to individual. Now I will give you the question related to company. Compute. Anna write it down. Anna. Compute tax liability for compute tax liability of X Limited. It is clearly domestic company. Clearly which company? Domestic company. Having total income of 1 having total income of rupees 1 crore 1 lakh. Just how much excess over the 1 crore ma? 1 lakh only excess. What is a domestic company basic limit for surcharge? 1 crore 10 crore. Both are basic limits only. But here how much excess over the basic limit? 1 lakh only excess over basic limit. Now tell me, can he get the marginal relief? Yes. Sorry, can company get the marginal relief? Yes. So that's why we have to solve the tax liability directly or by using the steps given in marginal relief, steps given in marginal relief. Now, but they are given the some more information. Assume that SSC not opted. Assume the SSC. Assume SSC not opted provisions of section 200 or 201. That means SSC not opted the concessional tax rate given for the domestic company, meaning is following normal tax rates. Note, yes, the gross receipts, yes ma, of X Limited for tax year 24-25 is rupees 450 crores. Now what is the tax rate applicable if does not exceed 425? Here exceeds or not? Yes. What is the rate? 30%. Please calculate the tax liability. They are not saying anything about the marginal relief, remember. But you have to get an idea whether this fellow can get the marginal relief or not. Please write it down. Please do the solution completely from your side. Please do. వస్తున్నా ఎన్నాళ్ళు రాలేదు కదా, క్వశ్చన్ స్టార్ట్ అయితే వస్తాయి కదా. ఎంత అందంగా రాస్తున్నారు హ్యాండ్ రైటింగ్, ఒక్కొక్కటి రఫ్లో కూడా రాస్తున్నారు. ఎస్, గివ్ ద హెడింగ్ ఫస్ట్ solution, then after tell me computation of tax liability of X Limited for the tax year 2026-27 without giving the heading. If anyone written the answer, that is useless only. ఫోన్ బుక్ తెచ్చుకోండి రేపటి నుండి, కొంచెం చిన్న నోట్స్ తెచ్చుకోండి. ఇంకా computation of tax liability of X Limited for that tax year 2026-27. Then shall we do what is the step 1? Give the heading step 1. Directly step 1 or we have to give the headings particulars amount? Please give the heading for that particulars as well as amount. What is the step 1 ra? What is the step 1 ra? Tax on total income including surcharge. Tax on total income including surcharge. Tell me, what is the total income? 1 crore 1 lakh. Here slab rates or flat rates? Flat rates. Directly we can compute easily. If individual now, we have to calculate tax liability by using the slab rates and different computation. How we can do directly? Okay, just I will do it. You can do on your own. Don't check it out. My answer solution. Yes, computation of tax liability computation of tax liability of X limited S for tax year, how much? 26, 27. So now I have to give the headings like particulars, amounts, particulars and amount. So give these steps one by one. Sir, why we are solving by using the marginal relief steps? Sir? Here we decided he can get the marginal relief. Why? He having the 1 lakh income excess over the basic limit. Okay, what is the step 1? Tax on total income. Tax on total income including tax on total income including surcharge. Tax on total income including surcharge. Now tell me, what is the tax on how much we have to pay? 1 crore 1 lakh. 1 crore 1 lakh. Shall we compute? Easily we can compute. Tell me how to calculate on 1 crore 1 lakh into what is the rate we have to apply? 30%. But here surcharge also will be applicable. What is the surcharge rate for the domestic company? 712. Now here what 7, because 1 to 10 crore, right? Tell me 7%, and finally what is that amount we can get? It is 32 lakh 42,100. It is nothing but whose capability, all of you? Sorry, whose expectation, ma? Department expectation. Sorry, it is what? Whose expectation? Department expectation from the SSC. This is an amount. Now, what is the step 2, Anna? Please tell me. We know tax on what? Basic limits. We have to calculate tax on basic limits including what, ma? Surcharge. Including the what? Surcharge. Next, we have to add some more extra income, that is nothing but excess amount over the excess amount over basic limits. Excess amount over the what? Basic limits. Shall we calculate everything, ma? Yes. So here we have to calculate the tax on 1 crore. Tax on 1 crore first. Then we have to add the 1 more lakh to this. Tell me, what is that? So simply we have to calculate 1 crore amount into 30% just because there is no surcharge, and we have to add this 1 lakh also. Tell me how much amount we can get, ma? 31 lakh. Sir, it is whose capability, ma? SSC capability. SSC is capable to pay. Yes, the just how much, ma? SSC is capable to pay only how much, ma? 31 lakh. But their expectation is 32 lakh. Now tell me, company is under burden or not? Yes. So now, what is that step 3, ma? We have to compute marginal relief. We have to compute marginal relief. Tell me, what is that marginal relief, ma? Step 1 is more than step 2. The difference between step 1 and step 2 only what? Marginal relief. How much marginal relief we can get, ma? 2 lakh 40, sorry, 1 lakh 1,42,100. So this is a marginal relief. But now we have to calculate the tax liability, right? Okay, tell me, ma, what is the tax liability department is expecting from the SSC that you can identify in the step 1? What is that? 32 lakh 42,100 minus, here we can get the marginal relief. What is a marginal relief we can get, all of you? 1 lakh 42,100. If you remove this, automatically you will get the answer was step 2 only. What is that, ma? 31 lakh. Sir, 31 lakh we got after marginal relief, but the last step in the tax computation we have to add health and education cess. How much health and education cess, ma? 1 lakh 1,24,000. What is that final tax liability after marginal relief? 32,24,000 for the X limited. I hope are you getting okay? You got the clarity relating to marginal relief sums. Shortcut. Please remember basic limit for surcharge over and above 1 lakh, 2 lakh, 3 lakh is there. Yes, automatically you can get the marginal relief. You can use these steps. Okay, if that is 20 lakh, 30 lakh excess over basic limit, you can't get any marginal relief. Directly you can solve the tax liability. Clear? So before closing this session for morning, I want to give you one clarification, the very important clarification. Rebate under section 156 only for resident individual under default regime whose total income does not exceed 12 lakh, whose total income marginally more than 12 lakh, under optional whose total income less than how much, ma? 5 lakh. Only resident individual is, if he is a poor fellow, he can get rebate. But what about the marginal relief? Marginal relief can be given to all SSEs who suffered because of surcharge rates. So that's why I given one example. Individual marginal relief we computed and domestic company marginal relief also we computed. In question, if they given for partnership firm also, any SSE also can get the marginal relief. First you have to understood clear differentiation between the rebate and marginal relief. Clear? Okay. So one more question we can discuss in the evening session. Then we can close the marginal relief concept also. Again, these questions involving in your workbook again. But I don't want to solve those questions. Just I will give already cover in handwritten. I don't want to solve again on the workbook. The same questions, whatever we written here, the same questions we have. But I don't want to solve again on workbook. Just I will take it down. It has an already cover in handwritten. Clear? Thank you. In the evening session we can meet.